Arizona Congresswoman Grijalva is slamming ICE, saying she was pepper sprayed during a Tucson immigration raid.
I was here and was sprayed in the face by a very aggressive agent, pushed around by others when I literally was not being aggressive. I was asking for clarification, which is my right as a member of Congress. I just can only imagine if they're going to treat me like that, how they're treating everybody else.
Deputy ICE Director Madison Sheahan joining us now to react on set. Madison, it's great to be with you. I haven't seen you since the first days of Operation Midway Blitz in Chicago. Now you're here. Obviously, this Congresswoman is out there saying that she was pepper sprayed. Your reaction?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. And this just isn't true. This is the classic move from the Democrats where they go around, they want to interfere with law enforcement. At what point in this country did we get to the point where you can interfere with law enforcement efforts and nothing happens to you? You can't touch a police officer. You can't interfere with our work. Our law enforcement officers are out arresting the worst of the worst. They're arresting gang members, murderers, and rapists. And if the Democrats choose to protect that group of people instead of the American people, I think that's something that the Democrat voters need to decide what they truly believe in.
Well, and it seems that the last data that we had was that assaults on ICE officers are up over 1,100%. And it's worth maybe pointing out that, you know, the pepper spray is used because your agents and officers are being assaulted.
Absolutely. We've seen this huge increase of assaults against our officers. We've seen an increase in vehicle rammings against our officers and the doxing that we see online. And this rhetoric continues to get worse. It's being pushed by Democrat members of Congress, of mayors and governors. People who are supposed to be leaders are the ones encouraging law enforcement officers to be put in harm's way. And it's truly unacceptable. And at some point, we have to put our foot down and say enough is enough.
So just real quickly, because I want to move on, there's so many things I want to hit, but when you see Congresswoman Grijalva making those claims and someone was being pepper sprayed near her, she wasn't directly pepper sprayed, as I understand the way it went down. But what does that do in terms of putting your officers at greater risk?
Well, it puts our officers at a greater risk when we have these members of Congress encroaching on the efforts of us being able to conduct law enforcement efforts. You know, after she was supposedly pepper sprayed, she got on national television to tell her side of the story. This would be a medical marvel for somebody not to have any effects of pepper spray if she indeed get pepper sprayed by our officers. Our officers are not aggressive. They're out doing their job, and these people are interfering with their efforts by harming them in their acts of duty.
You know, I want to shift gears. Yesterday, we had Attorney General Pam Bondi on this program talking about the Somali migrant charged with multiple counts of rape in Minnesota. Here's what she said.
This guy came into our country in 2015 under Barack Obama. He let him in legally. He's convicted in state court of both rapes. They let him walk out the door on probation. Then, under our administration, he commits a new rape. He is arrested. He is in federal custody. We are going back in time now, charging him again with kidnapping and the rape of the 2017 case. And I can tell you there are more charges to come.
What can you tell us about this guy and your effort to go after Somali illegal aliens?
Well, look, we have an operation going on in Minnesota right now to specifically go after the Somalis who have broken laws in this country, who have come to this country illegally, and continue to wreak havoc on the American people. Our officers are out every day arresting gang members, murderers, and rapists, and truly the list goes on. And people like Governor Walz have let this guy run free in his state for years, and it's time that we put a stop to it. Secretary Noem, General Bondi, and President Trump have allowed us to go out and do our jobs. And I think that's what ICE officers value more than anything, is that we can get dirtbags like this off the street every day.
And whether it's Arizona, whether it's Minnesota, and in Michigan, you have very progressive, far-left Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib that toured a detention facility. Here's what she said. Listen to this.
I'm here again to make sure that all of you know that we're going to hold them accountable, that we're going to make sure the conditions are safe, and that everyone's rights are protected. And I also was able to visit my 19-year-old resident that got placed here all the way from the city of Detroit. Not only for him, but for many of our families. We're going to make sure we push back against ICE, get them off our streets, and keep our families together.
But you look into the data, that facility holding a number of violent criminal aliens, to include those convicted of 2 felony convictions for sexual assault, and the list goes on.
The list goes on at every one of these facilities, and the Democrats continue to choose to protect the people that are locked up in our facilities, people that have broken the laws by coming into this country and then perpetuated laws against the American people after that. It's time that we're able to go arrest these criminals, and the Democrats choose to side with the American people instead of the criminals that are locked up in these facilities. And I'll also say that our officers go out every single day and enforce immigration law as it's written. Secretary Noem, President Trump have taken the handcuffs off our officers so we can put them on the criminals, but we enforce the laws that are on the books. We do not pick winners and losers. And the Democrats continue to think that the real winners are inside the fences at our ICE facilities, and that's not true. It's the American people that have been victimized by alien crime for years.
Deputy ICE Director Madison Sheahan, thank you for being here on set.
Thank you for having
Appreciate your time. All right.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.